From Anshei Sphard-Beth Emeth congregation, it's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parshat Ekev, a love affair with the land of Israel. If we look in the Parsha, we have a beautiful description, not once but twice, of the beauty of the land of Israel. It says, Ki Hashem Elokecha mevi'acha la'aretz tovah. The Lord your God brings you to a land which is beautiful, and it's expensive. Eretz nachalei mayim, ma'inotu tomot, yotzim v'bikah u'vahar. It's got rivers and all kinds of aquifers. Eretz chita u'sorah v'gefen u'tenav rimon. Eretz zeit shemen u'dvash. It's a land filled with the 7 species with which Israel is blessed. Wheat and barley and pomegranate and olives and dates and figs. Eretz asher lo miskenu tocha b'alechem lo tichsar kol ba. You won't have to eat in the land of Israel with difficulty. On the contrary, there's nothing missing in the land of Israel. Eretz asher vaner barzel meharat tachtzot nechoshet. It's a land from which you can mine various minerals from the land. You will eat, you'll be satiated, and you will bless God, you will thank God for the good land that He has given you. The good land. There's a tremendous emphasis in this whole book of Bamidbar, the Torah in general, on the idea that the land of Israel is Eretz Tovah. It's a good land. Moshe himself says, and I want to see the goodly land that's on the other side of the Jordan. Hahar HaTov, that good mountain, the goodly mountain. Perhaps it's Jerusalem. Perhaps it's the spinal column which runs up and down the center of the entire land of Israel. The whole land is one big mountain and valley. It's Hahar HaTov. It's always described as good. And the Meraglim, the spies, the good spies said, Tovah ha'aretz ma'od ma'od. The land of Israel is very, very good. The Torah doesn't say very, very good very often. It says it here because the land of Israel is particularly good. But what does this mean? Some commentaries, Rabbi Bachye, later on, Noam Elimelech, they asked the question, really, is the Torah really interested in how good the land is? Is it really the best land in the whole world? Surely. It's amazing. It's got different topographies in different places. But really, there aren't any Grand Canyons, Himalayas, different human, earthly features that are greater than the land of Israel. What do you mean that it's the Eretz Tovah? And if it wasn't an Eretz Tovah, if it wasn't a goodly land, would we not go there? What does this mean altogether? So the Ha'amek Davar says, well, me'od me'od, it's very, very good, it says in Parshat Shlach. So very, very, in 2 different respects, both the physical and the spiritual. And that's why the Akedah Yitzchak says, that's why Yoshua, he had a ruach acheret, he had a different spirit. Kalev, a different spirit. Ruach acheret. He could appreciate Tovah Aretz Me'od Me'od. They could appreciate the land was very, very good because the second good describes the spiritual good. Or the Sfas Emeth says the goodness of the land is the Pnimius Ha'aretz. The goodness of the land is not what you see. It's not the tour. There's no tour that can take you and show you the goodness of the land. Seeing those fruits didn't do a thing for those people. It was the Pnimius. It was the inside of the land. Some say, they didn't eat the fruit. That was the forbidden fruit. They should have eaten the fruit. They just saw it. They didn't eat it. Had they eaten it, they understood the pnimius, the innerness of it. The Al-Sheikh says, who are we kidding? The land of Israel is not beautiful merely for its externalities, but not just the pnimius, but it's the Shekhinah. It's the divine presence that dwells there. The Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, the great lover of Israel, the poet of Israel, describes that love, the love of God and of the Jews and the land of Israel. He says, Sham Hashchina. Ultimately, you know what's there? There in the land of Israel, Hashchina Shchina Lach. That's where the divine presence rests. That's what's special about it. Hayotzreich patach lemul sharei shachak sharayich. Your gates, O land of Israel, O Zion, they correspond to the gates of heavens. It's correlated. There's a lineup, there's an alignment between the gates of heaven and the gates of Jerusalem and Zion. So it's all about the Shekhinah. my father of blessed memory and Rav Chaim Zonenfeld of Jerusalem, they like to say that Urei betuv Yerushalayim. You should see the good in Jerusalem all the days of your life. We should only look at the good, not the bad. But what is that good? What we're suggesting is that the good of the land of Israel is the pnimius. After all, the rabbis interpret Har HaTov Hazeh, when Moshe said he wanted to see that goodly mountain, it meant Jerusalem. The Jerusalem is the pnimius, it's the internality of the land of Israel. Rabbi Bachya goes on a limb and he goes a step further. He says, what is this love we have for the land of Israel? We notice that Jews have a love of certain things. In general, you should love your neighbor as yourself. It's in a certain way. You shouldn't mean them any harm. You should want good for them. You should love your spouse, mamish kamocha. We love our spouses. That should be really a fulfillment of love your neighbor as yourself. We love God. But what's this business? We love, a Jew loves the land of Israel. What kind of thing is this? The love poetry of Yehuda Levi for the land of Israel. So Rabbi Bachya says, really, it's a different love. It's the love of Torah. We know the beautiful love poetry about the Torah. Psalm 119. Ma'ahavti Toratacha kol hayom misichati. How I love the Torah. All day I speak of it, my meditation, my thoughts are all in the Torah. We know the love affair the Jewish people have with the Torah. It's a lekach tov. We sing as we put away the Torah, that verse from Mishlei and Proverbs, that it's a goodly lesson. It's something good about it because, as the Sphard-Beth says, the Shekhinah comes with it, with the land of Israel. With the Torah. And what Rabbi Nubachi is suggesting is that our love of the land of Israel and the Torah of Israel, it's all connected. Am Yisrael, Torah Yisrael, Eretz Yisrael, it's all connected. But Rav Samson Hirsch has a more sort of nationalistic view of it. He says, you know what's beautiful about the land of Israel? You know why we have such a love affair with the land of Israel? You know why the Jewish people have to live in the land of Israel? We can't live in Brooklyn. I'm sorry, I say to all our enemies who want us to go back to Poland, back to Germany, back, they like to say, to Brooklyn. I'm sorry, we can't do that. You know why? Because you have to know why we consider that such a good land. What's so special? Why can't we live in a different, we'll live in Uganda, we'll make a kibbutz in New Jersey. What's the business? In Argentina, what's the big deal about the land of Israel? Shamshon Hirsch says it well. He says as follows. You know what that land is? You know why it's Tova? He says, because it's holemet, it patchuto haruchanit v'musarit hatzfuya shel ha'am. It contains within it the potentiality of the development, the spiritual and ethical development which the Jewish people foresee and long for. It's our home. Where a person develops, they develop in their natural place, their natural habitat. The Jewish people have to return to the land of Israel because it's there that we flower as a people. What is the Eretz Tovah? What's this business that we thank God in the benching ala Eretz Tovah Shem Talach, the verse in this week's parsha, that we thank God for the goodly land that He has given us. You know what that is? It's the pnimius, it's the ruchnius, it's the internality of it. It's the spirituality of it. It's the allusion to the Torah of Israel. And all that is just an allusion to the Spirit of God, the God of Israel, which we long to experience in that place we were destined to experience Him as Jews, in the land of Israel. Land of Israel is not just a place for us. It's not just a symbol of Torah, a symbol of ruchnius, of spirituality. It's not just a place where we encounter God. The love of Israel is a place the land of Israel is a place where we have a love affair with that land. Because that love affair is deeply and integrally connected and is really a mask for our love of God Himself. Thank you for joining us here at the Anshei Sphard-Beth Emeth congregation for a discussion this week's parsha, how-to videos, all kinds of discussions of the holidays as well. Thanks to Jason Lefkowitz, our producer. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein. To learn more, visit asb.org.